Hi, I'm Lorraine.
And I'm Glenn.
And this is Inspiring Business.
This morning we've got Steve Semmens, the persuader. Good morning, Steve.
Good morning, Glenn, Lorraine, how are you?
Well, thank you.
That's good.
So, Steve, this is a lovely morning. Can you tell us a little bit about how you got into business and what was your motivating force to go out and do that?
Well, I guess from a very young age I've always wanted to run my own business, but I actually never had the confidence to do that, and it took a really long time for me to actually build that confidence up to go out on my own. And I was lucky that I had a couple of really good mentors who allowed me to run their business for a number of years, which I did very successfully. So that kind of gave me the impetus to do that. And then I unfortunately had an experience with a bad employer who was putting dollars well and truly before our customers, and I love our customers. And I thought, you know what, I can do a heap better job than what they're doing. I don't want to look after my customers, so let's separate from them. Had a nice 4-month break because for legal reasons, and then I started out on my own as Steve Semmens and Associates, and away we went. So it was great.
Fantastic. Are you able to tell us a bit of a few wins and a few difficult times that you've had to overcome?
Definitely. So in my first year, in fact in my first month, I made so much money that I could move out of my home office and move into the CBD of Brisbane and set up there. However, what I didn't realise was I never kept an eye on my finances. So my one lesson in that first year was notice what your finances are doing. So I call it what I call a slow creep. And you'd have these subscriptions coming up and they go, oh yeah, it's only $30 a month, Steve. And I say, yeah, that'll be pretty useful. I like to read about that, or whatever it may be, or software, all sorts of stuff. And adding up, but I had good money coming in. And then about 9 months in, I had 4 months without any work coming in at all. And I've never experienced that in my whole sales career. And of course, what happened was I ended up with 80 grand's worth of bills and no way of paying it. And I'm just going, oh my goodness. So I went through all my expenses and I cut everything that wasn't a core necessity to me running my business. I cut it from 20 grand a month to 4. So straight away. Now some of those, you had to give 3 months notice and all that sort of thing, so that was a bit of a headache. But finally got there and work slowly started to come in and away it went again. So that was a really, really valuable lesson. And I'm glad I did it in my first year because when my business built up and we're making a lot more dollars, if it happened then, the expenses I would have gone under for sure because the expenses were so high. So, yes.
So, Steve, you've got plenty of time for entrepreneurs and established businesses alike. What advice would you give to people starting out?
I think the best advice is put people first. Okay? You have to have a passion about what you're doing because that passion keeps you going. And most entrepreneurs, nearly 98% of them that are really sustainable, have always put people first. They want to help people. It doesn't matter what the type of business is. It can be a therapist type business, it can be an accounting type business, it can be engineering, whatever it may be. But if they have that centre of the people first, then they're going to be reasonably sustainable and successful. So that's what I've found. If you're going for the dollars, if you're chasing the money and that's the pure reason why you're going into business, then I'm telling you, don't do it. It's not worth it. Your business is not going to be sustainable. You're going to ruin your reputation, and you're just going to annoy the crap out of people because basically you're wasting everybody's time. So, and that's what I see.
Fantastic advice. That's great. So you actually teach courses and everything in
Well, I call them soft skills.
Soft skills.
But they are success skills. They are people skills, communication skills, understanding emotional intelligence. And we do a lot of frontline courses in relation to teaching people how to supervise, how to manage. And what we're trying to get them to do is get out of that manage mode and turn them into leaders. So that's our real focus. And to really essentially get the maximum potential out of each person. So whether that be a senior manager in a business, a business owner, or their staff, we can cover the whole gamut of it.
Yeah.
And I just love doing it.
Yeah, because it's definitely a change in mindset, isn't it? That you have to sort of I don't know, find a way to click it over to actually be just from being an ordinary manager into being a leader and kind of pulling these other people along.
So trusting your people, empowering them, hiring people that have good interpersonal skills, right? Even from a technical perspective, so you've got to hire technical people from time to time. I know it's a terrible thing, but you do. And it's just getting them to teach them a little bit about communication, different behavioural styles, how to talk to people, how to write emails. Because even having a bit of a softening blow of any type of email that you're sending out at the start of it, which might be something as simple as how's your day going, or how's the family, or something like that. There's a lot of technical, task-orientated people don't feel that's important, but if their staff are people-orientated, it is really important to them that they communicate it that way. So if you can do that, it makes a huge difference. So we're not saying to people that are introverted to necessarily go, oh, you have to be an extrovert. We're not saying that at all. We're just saying that change your style and modify the way that you speak and look at the impact that your words are having on other people. And if you can do that, it makes such a difference in relation to how that's received. So if you've always been a task-orientated person and your staff are people-orientated and you modify your behaviour, they will pick up on it straight away. And either they'll be worried that you've now got a mental illness, or they'll realise the efforts that you're putting in, and they will respect that.
Fantastic.
So, yeah, it's just a really great way to reach out and just empower people. The other thing is to look at people who show initiative, right? Allow them to make mistakes, because a lot of the times, particularly young ones, they're just so fearful of trying anything new or thinking for themselves, because they go, oh, if I make a mistake, they're going to yell at me, or the boss is going to be unhappy. You know, so it's really looking for people that have that resilience. So, hey, say they do make a bad mistake and you do yell at them, they don't quit and walk out the door, because young people will do that.
How do you learn resilience, Steve? Is it something you learn, or is it something you're born with, or you can improve over time?
I always thought it was something you're born with, but having studied a lot of different courses, particularly in the last few years, I've found that you can actually learn how to be resilient. So it's and just putting yourself in uncomfortable situations and seeing how you react to that, and then analysing that and seeing if you can improve on that better. Mm-hmm. So it's a great way to do it, and any of us can do that. Mm-hmm. Any of us. Mm-hmm. So it's really.
That is a case of perhaps reacting to the perception or the reaction that you get, and then constantly adjusting in the market. So thank you very much for coming here today, Steve.
Thank you for inviting me. It's been really good to see you, and what a just lovely place to be sitting at and having a chat, and it's great.
Yes, so I think Steve would give the thumbs up to other people joining us next year in 2020.
For sure.
I'd like to take this opportunity to thank everybody, all our guests and everybody for watching Inspiring Business. We'd like to wish everyone a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
And Victoria and Steve have joined us here to celebrate. We would like to see you again in 2020. And thanks for watching
Inspiring Business.